okay, I messed up again. I was in a hurry this morning and I tried to solve this puzzle and then I made a mistake and ran out of time. So let's try this again. Let's go over here and try to remember what I said. So what I did say is I really like the look of this grid. I love the simplicity of these rule sets. And we have region sums. Who knows where I even messed up? Who knows? Who knows? That's what I get for rushing. Region sums. German whispers. And, is the music too loud? I hope not. And Renbands and X's. And so, one of the things that we talked about was the fact that this digit is the same as this digit, right? These must be the same digit. Is that a thing we believe to be true? I think we think that's true, right? Because this is a region sum line and there's just these are individual cells on a region sum line. Also, these are individual cells on a region sum line. So it is also true that these are the same digit. Shouldn't use that color. Should use this color. Those are the same digit. Now, in talking about what these things can be, there's three digits that sum to them. So superficially, one might say, you know, the basic naive statement is that these must all be high, right? Because there's at least 1, 2, 3 plus at least 1, 2, 3. So these are at least 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So these are, we can get rid of those. I think we get it. These are all high digits, right? Just because it's a requirement that 3 digits are going to sum to a high digit. That means this is low and this is low just by xness. Now, though, they're more restricted than that. So I think, so at the base level, we would say there's 6, 7, 8, 9, right? However, the minimum that these digits could sum to is 15. Right? And the minimum either of these lines could be is 15. So what are we supposed to do with that? These sum to the same thing. So it's either a 16 or a 17 a 16 or an 18. It just has to be because this and this are the same number. And the total here is a minimum of 15. 6 would be 2 12s, 2 6s would be 12. 7 would be 14. That's no good. So there's no 6s or 7s here, I think we will say. We also know this is low. So then we know that these are 1s and 2s, right? I think we also know that, what else do we know? We don't quite know. I mean, one of these is definitely an 8, so there's definitely a 1 in here, but the 9 could be 2, 3, 4, I think. Now, something we know about here, and that is also true here, is that those are the same whispery, I'm mixing up parity, polarity. I always think of parity as zeros and ones, not evens and odds. Or maybe it's the same thing. Same polarity, above and below 5. And this has an inverse. Doesn't sound good. So these are like that. And these are, oh, this browser doesn't have my proper colors. What a disappointment. Right? So we know that these will look like this. So these must match. And it would be a very difficult thing for these to be high, for both of these to be high. It's not possible, right? Because you couldn't have 7 or 8 or 9 here. The most you could have 6 plus 1 plus 2 to equal the 9. So these can't both be high because that would put a 7 on one of these at a minimum, even if the other was 6. So I think we say these are low. And I think we say these are high. How about that? Does that check out? We don't quite have the same problem here. It's fine to have a high two. I mean, I think we could have 2 high digits here. We need to remember that these digits are the same. Oh, right. A couple things. We have a 1-2 pair and we have an 8-9 pair. This we know is low, and so we know it must be a 3-4. That's a true statement. This is part of a sum there. I'm sure we can do more with the sums in here, right? Like, if we didn't have a 1 in here, the sum is 2, 3, so that's 5. If we don't have a 1, we sum to 20, right? That's 10, that's 20. And if we don't have a 2, 15, 18, we sum to 19. So we have to have a 1 and a 2 in this neighborhood. And that, I think that's true for both people. This low digit, I guess, could still be a 3. Certainly not a 4. This low digit, oh, right. We didn't think about this rim band. I love this little zig. It's a very, very charming little zig here. The thing about this zig, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a 5-cell rim band. There must be a 5 on it, and that's not on an X. So that's a 5. I think we think that. Do I think I could have a 5 here? As long as this was low. Right though. Here's, however, right. We know there's at least one, there's at least a high digit here. And we know there's at least a low digit here, right? So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 doesn't work. There's no 9 here because there has to be a low digit. And obviously it would be 9 and 1, which is too much. 8 and 2 is also too much. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So it's not 8 or 2. 6, 5, 4, 3 works. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So it's okay to have this be a 6, 4 or a 3, 7. Right? If this is 7, this is 3. If that's true, yeah, we can't do that actually. If this is 7, then we have a 7 and a 3 here with a 5 in the middle. So we have 7 and 3 and 5. So we have to have 4, 6. That makes this a 4, 6 pair. But 4 on an X goes with the 6. And same in the inverse. So this is not 3, 7. This is definitely 4, 6. And then it could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, that's the reach, I guess, that we have is as high as 8. If this was a 7, 8. No. We can't have high digits on here. It's a 4, 5, 6 triple. So these digits are not 4, 5, 6, and they cannot be high. Because if we have it would be well, neither of them can be high. But even if we tried to make one of them high, the highest, we can't have 4, 5, 6. We can't have 7 here because 7's going to, even with a 1, 2, would be 10. So the highest this could be is a 6, but it's not 6 or 5 or 4. So these are low digits. And that means these are high digits. And these low digits very specifically are a 2, 3 pair to complete the rim band. And that means that's another 8, 9. So 4, 5, 6. So what's left is just, I'm sorry, I said 8, 9. I meant 8, 7. And this is 1, 9. Sorry. Right? A 1, 9 pair, a 7, 8 pair, 4, 6 is here. How do I feel about that? Not bad. We got to remember that one of these is an 8, so one of these must have a 1 on it. There's definitely one somewhere. Okay, now, what does that mean for this Rin band? Over here we have to put, excuse me, over here we have to put one more high digit and 2 more low digits. If we try to put a low digit and a high digit, then this has to be a 5. Excuse me. Is that okay? For this to be a 5, that would be 1, 9, I think. Could it be 5, 2, 3? Could it be 10? If this were 5, this would have to be 1. Ah, this can't be 5, right? If I put 5 here and I'm trying to have consecutive digits, the digits that are consecutive to 5 are 4 and 6. So this can't be 5. So this is, whatever this is definitely not 5. And that means this can't be split. And that means these must be high, right? Because, wait, is that true or false? No, I'm sorry, they must be low. These must be low because they must be either fully above 5 or below 5 because we can't have a 5 anywhere on here. And if they were fully above 5, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high digits. So I think both of these are low. And I think that forces this to be fully below 5, right? And that this forces this to be high, so this is low. So we end up with a low sequence on the top and the bottom. We also end up with that's all of our low digits in column 6. But it could still be 2, 3, 4 to make the 9, right? Something bad happened with this X. Like, for example, if that's 1, 9, 6, 1. I'm sorry, it'd be 6, 4, 9. What do we know about this? It is a sequence for sure. And it's a sequence that is either 1, 2, 3, or it is a sequence that is 2, 3, 4. And there's no 4 in here. There's no 4 in here. This is from 1, 2, and 3. But this, I think, can still be 1, 2, 3, or 4. That is a 1, 2, 3 triple. And this is 7, 8, 9. One of these is definitely a 7, which has to have a 1 or a 2. So, well, that doesn't mean this has to be a 4. So what do we know about you folks? Uncle Joey. Do we know about you? These digits are minimum 10. And remember, we're trying to end up with 16 or 17. We want these digits must sum to 16 or, so I'm sorry, they must sum to 16 or 18. And this is, these digits, there's definitely another low digit, right? Because if these were, there's at least one low digit over here, right? Because if there were no low digits, the minimum would be 11. So there's at least a low digit over here, but only one. And that sums to at least 10. Well, it sums to exactly 10, I should say. There's a low digit over here. So we sum to exactly 10 with the low digit. So the remaining digit has to be 8 in one case and 6 in the other case. Right? Let me state this one more time. We have 3 low digits here, 3 low digits here. There must be a low digit here because it's got to sum to 8 or 9. And if it was 5, 6, that would already be 11. So there's definitely a low digit over here. That means all 4 low digits are spoken for. And we are trying to sum to either 16 or we are trying to sum to 18. But we know that both of these already have 10 accounted for. So one of them gets a 6 and one of them gets an 8, right? And the 8 can only go, one of these has an 8 on it. It's the one that goes with the 9. And it has to be, it can't be in this column, right? So one of these must be an 8. Oops. One must be a 6 and one must be an 8. So these are the high digits. Is that true? I hope that's true. It'd be sad if it wasn't. Oops. Like this. And then 6 goes with 4 and 8 goes with 2. It'd be something like that. And it also means there's definitely a 1 in here because the 6, like one of these is the 1 to go with the 6. And that also means, what does that also mean? It means the remaining digits, it means the 8 must go with a 1 to make a 9, right? The 8 must go with 1. I think I broke the puzzle. We'll try it. The 8 must go with 1 to make 9, and the 6 must go with 2 to make 8. So one of these is a 1 and one of these is a 2. But that means on the 9 side, we don't have 1. So it's definitely a 2, 3, 4 on the 9 side. And on the 8 side, we don't have 2. So it's definitely 1, 3, 4 on the 8 side. So these are low. It means that there's definitely a 4 in here. For sure. And that means there's definitely a 9 in here. So this is definitely not a 9. Because one of these is definitely the 9 because the 4 is going to require it. That means this is not a 4. So this is only 1, 2, or 3. So this is 4. 1, 2, or 3 means 9, 8, 7. But I think this has to be the 4 because these people aren't 4s. Aren't you a 4? Because you couldn't put a 9 there. So that's a 4. And that makes this a 2, 3 pair. And that makes this the 1. That means that's not 1, so that's not 9. That's not the 4, so that is 4, so that is 9. So that's not 9. 7 and or 8 must go with 1, 2, or 3. Right? But we get the 9, I'm sorry, we get the 8 here, which is good because we knew that the 2, 3, 4, well, they both have 4s. Never mind. They both have 4s because one is 2, 3, 4, which this one already is. So I think we already knew that actually. 9, and we know that the 8 gets a 6 plus 2 with a 4. Where the 9 gets an 8 plus 1. We know the 6 gets a 1. The 8 here must have a 2 or a 3, I think, which pairs there. You are a 7, so you are not a 3. So that is the 1. That's the 3. That's 7. That's 9. So you are 8. So you are 2. So you are 3, which can go next to an 8. 3 goes with 7. You're 1. Is that satisfactory? Hope so. Very much hope so. What are you doing? You're not a 4. You're next to an 8. 8 next to 2 is fine. This actually could be a 7. It is a 7. See 6, 8, and 9. That is a 7. You're a 3 with a 2, 3, 4 run band sequence. We still have to make this up to 9, right? It's not 8, 1. So it's like 5, 4 or 6, 3 or 7, 2. It's not 7, 2. It's not 8, 1. It's not 7, 2. It's 5, 4, 6, 3. No. This is 3 because that's an 8. Right. You're 3. Oh, that's an 8. Gosh, fill these in. Good grief. 1, 2. So that only leaves 4 or 5 to sum to 9, right? Something like this. And I think we place the 5 here. What do you think of that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're just a 6, 7 pair. So you're high. And that just needs a 3, 4 pair, which is low. Oh boy. Your 5 is over here. Your 5 is over here. Well, how about that? Okay, so we're doing pretty well on our lines. I think. Hope so. What else must we... This is just 5, 6, 7, I guess. Well, we know there's a 5 here because it couldn't be 6, 7, but we knew that anyway. 9, 8. 8 must end up down here. 8 must end up here. 8 is there. 8 is there. 8 is there. 9 is placed. 9 is placed. 9 is here, here, here. 9 is here. 7s. It's not very exciting. Start from the other end of the world. 1s. This is a 1, 8 pair, right? Which places the 9. And makes this a 5, 7 pair. That place this 9. The 5, 7 pair makes this a 6, and this a 4, and this a 7, and this a 3. And what else happens? A 7, 7, 7 gets placed. We need 1 and 3 in there. And 5, 8, no, 3, 5 in here. The 5 is, sorry, the 3 is seen, so the 5 is placed, the 3 is placed, which is low, middly. We need a 4 in here, and we need a 6, which places the 6 here and the 4 here. And we need a 2. Oh, also, while we're at it, I guess there's a 1 and a 3 up here, which are both low. 8's high, 1's low, 8 high. 2 is low. And we're left with 5 and 6 and 5. This 9 needs a 6 with it. 1, 7. 5, 7. 5 gets placed. We need 6s and 7s. We need 2s and 4s. We need 2. And we need a 6. And we need 2s and 3s in here. The 2 there and the 3 here. Both low. We need something with this 9. I think it's a 5. Places the 9. Oh, my time is... Who knows what my time really was? I guess I didn't reset this. Oops. Just sat there all day. 9 is high. And we still need a 6. And we still need a 4. We did it. It is the correct solution. And I love it. This, I think this is my favorite one so far. I mean, the others I was very clumsy on, but the simplicity of this with, I mean, it's a very simple and clean looking grid, even though it has 4 constraints, but the 4 constraints really had a nice interplay. And especially with the, I mean, we really didn't have to think too hard about the 2 Ren bands kind of just came together. But the interplay of the, like the whispery digits with the X's with the region sums was really nice. Yeah, I think Uncle Joey, I think it's my favorite one. Okay, what do we have left? We have Dreamboat, Enchantment of the Sea, and Back to the Future. I will try to solve those so soon. Okay, thanks, bye.